when being Prime Minister requires a soft touch.
A bit delicate.
They are very delicate, aren't they?
But if you think making macarons is difficult,
There we go.
healing relations with a Macron will be trickier.
I wish him every congratulations for what is an historic victory for President Macron.
Hello, how are you? Andrew Probyn from the ABC.
The re-elected French president, who had a spectacular falling out with Scott Morrison over a cancelled submarine contract,
Do you think he lied to you?
I don't think, I know.
will be critical in a coordinated response to Beijing's influence in the Indo-Pacific, where France has more than 1 million citizens. China's striking of a military pact with the Solomons of major embarrassment to Scott Morrison's so-called Pacific step-up.
The bloke who just keeps dropping the ball, the bloke who went missing while China negotiated and signed a security deal on our doorstep.
Labor revealing the approach it would take to make Australia the Pacific partner of choice. An extra $500 million in aid over 4 years, 3,000 permanent migration spots for Pacific Islanders, allowing seasonal workers to bring their families, financing climate and clean energy projects, and extending the reach of ABC broadcasts.
I sent in the AFP. The Labor Party wants to send in the ABC. They have a Q&A solution in the Pacific.
Although the PM is refusing to say what he would do if the Chinese established a military base on the Solomons, which he said on the weekend was a red line.
No responsible Prime Minister would go into the sort of detail that you're asking for.
No point in beating your chest if you're beaten to the punch.
Where's that coming from?
On climate, the coalition's accused of sending conflicting messages to rural and city constituents. Queensland Senator Matt Canavan dismissing the government's net zero emissions plan.
The net zero thing is all sort of dead anyway.
Its candidate in the Queensland seat of Flynn describing the government's net zero emissions by 2050 commitment as flexible.
Our candidate in Flynn was talking about is how we get there. He wasn't talking about the commitment himself.
Labor too having to explain how coal production won't be affected by its push to penalise major emitters.
No coal project will face a carbon constraint that is beyond, that will make them internationally uncompetitive.
Scott Morrison's embrace of net zero by 2050 constrains coalition attacks on Labor over climate change. And the Beijing blindside in the Solomons also blunts any government boast on national security. Not that this is stopping them. The PM and his ministers continue to talk tough on China. But if the government's rhetoric was matched by actual defence capability, Australia would have one of the world's strongest militaries. Andrew Probyn, ABC News, Canberra.